My creative process is actually very simple. It's 2 steps. I firstly decide what I need to do. And then the second step is I decide how I'm going to do it. So let me elaborate that in the context of writing, let's say, a thriller novel. So the first part is, what is my story? Hammer it out, research it out, flesh it out, make sure it's logically correct. Now the second part, how I'm going to tell it once I have the story. You see, you must understand, writing a thriller is pretty tough because a thriller has only 3 things: a good guy, a bad guy, a woman. I mean, there is no variation. A thriller only works on a single premise. The good guy is saving the bad guy, the woman from the bad guy, or the world from the bad guy. Right? A thriller has only 2 elements: sex and violence. So, I mean, yeah, there are 67 ways to have sex, but there's only 1 way to shoot someone. There's only 2 ways to use a knife. There's only 3 things you can do with poison: inject it, ingest it, or
He
inhale
speaks
it.
with authority, clearly.
No, I mean, look, what happens is that you have to really become creative. So how do you kill someone creatively? I mean, right? So, for one of my books, I actually said, okay, I'm not going to use a gun, I'm not going to use a knife, they're very boring. So I actually used, the killer used a hammer. So he used to beat people to death, right? I mean, that's how creative you can get. Because you have to understand, what she said is very true. The audience is looking for something new every time. And as a writer, you only compete with your last book. Right? So the pressure is on. I mean, that time I had delivered 5 bestsellers on the trot, 1 every year. So by the 6th time, I was sweating. I said, how else do
You're
I
running
kill
out of
people?
weapons, yeah?
Sorry?
You're running out of weapons by then.
Yeah. I mean, no, I was not running out of weapons. Luckily, I have 10 years of combat experience, so that gives you
Now you see.
a lot of creativity, but it was getting a little tough. So that's the 2-part answer. And by the way, the same 2-step process applies to life also. You first separate what you have to do, then you decide how you're going to do it. That's the creative part.